Right. Let me tell you a quick story. Back when I was 15, I developed a whole host of mental health issues. Or at least now I understand them as mental health issues. So I could sit here and explain to you all the things that I experienced when I was having pretty severe mental health issues. We could sit here and we could talk about the anxiety, the social anxiety, the loneliness. We could talk about the low mood and the depression. We could talk about all of that. We could talk about the panic attacks that I would suffer from every single day at school. Hell, even multiple times a day. See, all those things are important, but there was one thing that drove me the craziest, that drove me the maddest, and the thing that I think gets left out about discussions about mental health all the time, is that we have all these definitions, and we have all these titles, and all these words, and diseases and disorders that we put on people. You know, you've got so-and-so thing, you've got so-and-so thing, and those are important. But the only way I can describe what I experienced was this sort of mental chaos. It was hell. Complete and utter mental hell. You see, this mental chaos followed me all the way through sixth form, all the way through my gap year, all the way through COVID, and all the way almost through uni. I'm not going to sit here and describe to you what it felt like, because I feel like me just saying those words, mental hell and mental chaos, I feel that's going to be enough for you to know whether this video is the right one for you or not. You see, when I was 19, back in 2021, yeah, that sounds right. Back in 2021, when I was 19, my mental chaos, my mental hell, got so bad and so confusing and so seemingly never-ending that I tried to kill myself. It's true. I tried to kill myself. It was horrible. You see, this video and a lot of my other videos, I try to stick to things that I know. Mental health is a crazy thing, and it's a crazy thing to help people on because we all have different experiences with it. But this is something I know I can help people with because I helped myself with it. Man, that day in April 2021 was the darkest and lowest of my life. But I can very happily report to you, humble viewer, that life doesn't look like that anymore. I don't have anxiety anymore. I'm not socially anxious. I'm not very lonely. I don't get panic attacks. And my mood's pretty good. You see, I went from someone who never ever believed that it would end because I never really realized when it started. There was no concept of life without the mental health problems because that, for so long, was just life. But I found a way out. I found a way out. And it's crazy. You see, the purpose of this video isn't to give you a magic bullet. The purpose of this video isn't to give you a one solution, a magical recipe. Well, it's pretty close to a magic recipe to how you can fix your mental health or how you can live an amazing life. Because the honest truth is that I'm not an expert. I've studied economics at undergrad. I currently make these videos because I have things to share with you. I can only share with you what has worked for me and pray and hope that it's worked for you because I swear to God, my life has changed so exponentially since I started doing these things, since I started solving my own mental health. Right, so here's how I did it. See, the way I look at mental health is we've got the controllables and we've got the uncontrollables, or the understandables and the knowables, and the not-so-understandables, and the not-so-knowables. Not quite as catchy, that. My meaning of saying this is I do think there's a degree of what you're experiencing that is something that nobody understands. I do genuinely believe that there's something about this mental phenomenon, experience that you're having that is only for you to discover. It's a part of your journey, and that's just you. But I genuinely believe that's only about 20% to 25% of what it takes to live a mentally healthy life. See, when I was growing up around that, 2019, pre-COVID kind of era, mental health was kind of on the rise. It was becoming very, very popular. A lot of people were talking about it. There was athletes talking about it. There were celebrities talking about it. People were actually starting to try and talk about what this whole mental health thing is. You see, while that's great, that led to a lot of misunderstanding about what mental health really means. See, in my experience, or rather the way I see it, this is kind of what happened. Initially we had this thing where we went, as long as you're physically healthy and you've got money, you should be happy. And anything that fell outside of that, anything that wasn't within those two things, we kind of started calling it mental health. That makes things very, very confusing. In reality, a lot of mental health is a lot simpler than that. See, I would love to sit here and say to you that from the day I tried to kill myself to the person that I am today, you know, those crucial 3 years of my life. And look, I'm going to be frank with you. I didn't even come out of it straight away. For a whole year, I was still depressed. So the last 2 years of my life have been a crazy whirlwind ride of development and love. And I had this, at the core of it, I had this eureka moment where suddenly I solved the mystery of my own existence. And this really weirdly, like, philosophical kind of crazy thing. My mom and dad were all there and we were all crying and everybody had an emotional time and suddenly everything was fine. That's not what happened. That's not at all what happened. 80% of me solving what was going on in my head came from me taking care of very, very concrete variables. And here's what I mean by that. A lot of people, when they talk about mental health, they think of it as a very psychological thing. There's something in your head that you need to sort out, some sort of disorder, something that you need to solve in order to live a happy life. There's something going on there. But what they tend to ignore is the physiology of it. I'm chucking out a lot of big words right now. What I mean by that is quite literally, having good mental health means being mentally healthy, having a brain that functions healthily. The same way as physical health is a body that functions. TLDR for the rest of this video, me going from suicidal to an absolute, like, lover of life came from me taking care of physiological things. It came from me taking care of my food, my sleep, my exercise, and my meditation, and my social life. Those are the 5 things. That's what it took for me to live a healthier life mentally. That's what it took for me to manage my mental chaos. Manage being the key word. It's not gone, but I'm on top of it now. It's just 5 simple things. I ate better. Guess what? Pre-being 19, I used to eat freaking cereal in the morning, a couple of brioche rolls for lunch, and then whatever there was for dinner, I'd have half a plate of. I used to have things filled with microplastics. I used to have things filled with preservatives. I would have barely any fruits, any vegetables, any protein, anything that's actually healthy for me. I barely exercised. I played cricket. That's it. I used to sleep 4 or 5 hours a night. Now I sleep 8, minimum. Every single night, I get my 8 hours. Meditation. I never used to meditate. Fuck meditation. What the hell is that? Now I cannot go a day without meditation. And social life, sharing, telling people about what I'm experiencing is the biggest thing that's changed. Fundamental things, basic things. It's like if somebody's overweight or underweight, like wants to make a physical change, you'd be like, go to the gym. It's the same thing for your mind.
Well, surprise outro. So basically, this was my first time talking about a lot of those experiences on camera. So I sort of ended up losing track of what I was saying at the end there. I was actually recording for another 10 minutes, but a lot of it was just complete gibberish. So basically, that's going to be the end of this video here. But expect, if you enjoyed it, expect more videos on this kind of thing, this whole thing. I'm going to be covering what I actually mean by the physiological things that I changed. Pretty straightforward, to be honest, just food, sleep, meditation, sharing, and exercise. But I'm also going to go into how you can start doing those things and how you can actually integrate those and how it can benefit your mental health. But look, if you're somebody who's new to these videos and all that kind of stuff, thank you for your patience. I will be uploading more stuff like this. I'm still learning the ropes, this whole YouTube thing. But yeah, if you're going to take anything away from this video, just think, if you don't take care of your mind, why should your mind take care of you? And the rest of the stuff is relevant as well. It's not going to take care of 100% of it, but if you start taking care of your mind, I promise you, no matter what you're going through, it will make such a substantial difference that it's almost like living a whole different new life. I can tell you from my own personal experience that is true. So yeah, thanks again for watching this. Subscribe if you feel like it, and I will see you guys on the next one.